sometimes when you try to make the narrative too formal, it tends to lose the human side of it. Because when all of this is said, you talk about, after the rebasing of the economy, the Nigerian economy is now the largest in Africa. People tend to miss it when you don't relate it to little stories. I like the story that the Agric minister likes to tell, or the story about the rice thing, when a girl said every year, every December, the price of rice goes up, and that for some reason this year, the price of, last December, the price of rice didn't get to 12,000 naira. Now, what happened? It was because there was a local alternative. We had actually began to produce rice locally, and that sort of brought the price down. Reduced. Now, that's if that is not, impacting on people directly, I don't know what is. I'll tell you another story. They might seem a little bit too simple, but that is where you begin to make the connection. Somebody says to me that every December, again, that people used to spend sometimes 3 days. They miss Christmas if they don't leave Lagos on time, if they have to travel to the east through the Lagos or Benin Road. People sleep there for days, just trying to make it through an otherwise 3 hours journey. Sometimes they have to veer off the main road, and that for the first time in years, those things don't happen anymore. People drive 3 hours, 4 hours, they are home. Take the intervention in the sector that people know me for, the entertainment sector. My people that I knew as production hands when we were deep in the work, today some of them have gone abroad. Film schools, for editing, for directing, and all of that, all part of the Project Act Nollywood. It's amazing how many people have benefited. Not to mention Yowin, Shopee, the unbundling of the power sector. It might not translate immediately into improved power in our homes and all of that, but it is the beginning of the transformation. The transformation doesn't have to be in one day. Is there any kind of movement? Of course there is. Is the movement significant? Of course the movement is significant. It's hugely significant because now people can look and say the facts don't lie. In one transaction, for instance, in just the unbundling of the power sector, we're able to make more money in almost 41 years of what we've done in privatization. So the critic might say, but has that improved power? Of course it has improved power in certain areas, and it will begin to translate, in small digits into our homes, later on. When licenses were being given for mobile telecommunications, earlier on, in Nigeria, nobody ever thought that it will get to a time when one network will be paying so much money to a sector. Now, it will amaze you, I don't have the right figures, but it will amaze you how much our musicians and people who have content are making from caller tunes. When you begin to say that the president didn't do anything, really what you're saying is that there was never any improvement at the aviation sector. You are really saying that the Agric minister didn't work. You are saying the FCT, didn't work. The power sector didn't work. Everything didn't work. Nothing worked. And it is not possible, that nothing worked. You are saying that Nigeria was at a standstill in the last 4 years. No. In fact, if anything, we became the biggest. It's a big deal. We became the biggest economy in Africa. It's such a big deal because it means that the figures are going to keep going up. When at the first rebasing, they said, our contribution, the creative industry's contribution to the GDP was about 2-3%. I hear that there's been a review now, and we are over 5%. We've been working, and we are still working. It is work in progress. We have never said that we are there, But to say that we are not working and we are not moving towards there or that destination, it's a lie, or like the Christians will say, it's a lie from the pit of hell. There is constant engagement over every sector. How do we tweak this sector? How do we make it better? One thing I would like to say here, put on record, is that we should not treat the creative industry like the orphan. And by this I mean, we must begin to look at it as it must be as important as controlling infant mortality rate. It must be as important as defense, as education, because when it's all said and done, it is about what we eat, what we wear, and what we speak, how we look like, and all of that is captured in the creative industry. So don't finish budgeting for roads and everything before you budget for culture. No, you must budget and treat culture, on equal terms with every other sector. And if you do that, then Nigeria will not through the back door colonize the rest of the world, but it will come in through the front door. Treat the creative industry like an equal partner in our march to progress, in taking care of defense, education, health. Then that which we are, that creative spirit that defines every Nigerian, that Nigerian that wants to be seen and noticed anywhere in the world, but we won't be seen as a bunch of people who defraud countries, or we'll be seen as enterprising people, creative people. And what has happened is that the transformation agenda has unleashed this whole process, and we can see the possibility now. The thing to do is to hold on to that momentum and don't let it go. And holding on to that momentum is making sure that the transformation agenda continues. I want him to go beyond the intervention, because these were interventions that he had to do, because look, it's good faith. Mr. President, we want you to do this. He said, okay, here it is. Go to the Bank of Industries, the coordinating minister, please warehouse this money and make sure that these people. So we got funding. So people got monies to do movies. People got monies to go for training, retraining the trainers and everything. People got money to establish cinemas in local government areas and everywhere. There are interventions, but we need to have a policy that makes sure that every budget, it is there through the Ministry of Culture and Tourism or whatever other, By the way, if it's possible, let us get television, the creative content in television, and warehouse it in the Ministry of Culture and Tourism. Having unbundled the sector and seeing the potential, we are jumping up and down now and celebrating 4 billion naira for creative industry from color tunes and from cinema rights. Iroko TV, we are jumping up and down and saying Iroko TV can give me, if I have a good movie, they can pay me $20,000 for rights to my, not exclusive rights, so you can be on different platforms. It's nothing. Time will come where when you aggregate what you get from all the Sky channels that show Nigerian movies or that show your content from BET, that play your music, from radio stations that play, time will come when you will sit down, your royalties will be clicking, your phone will just be beeping. Every time you flip your phone, you will see dollar signs. If you're a creative person and you have published your music or published your content, your phone will be beeping, and it will be dollar signs that will be beeping in that phone. That is what this whole transformation thing has done. It just keeps, it's like layer after layer, just opening up the thing. And the more you open up the place, the more it lends itself to to success, to more things, to more development. We are at that point where you can see the end of the tunnel. Turning back now is not a choice. As we're approaching the election, don't let anybody tell you anything different. We are on the way. Whatever you're doing now, keep doing it. Make sure that you ensure that your tomorrow is secured. And the only way you can do that, the only way you can ensure that your tomorrow is secured, and all the creativity that you are doing, all the things you're putting together now to ensure your tomorrow is to make sure that on that day you vote. You vote for the transformation agenda to continue. And a vote for the transformation agenda is a vote for the PDP government of President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan.